Hello, Nerissa here. Today I want to talk about insomnia. Insomnia, um, simply defined, struggle to fall asleep or stay asleep. The reason why I want to talk about insomnia is that I struggled with insomnia at the early stages of my son's diagnosis. Um, for those who are watching my videos for the first time, I am a mom to 3 children, and one of my 3 kids has got a diagnosis of autism, is on the autism spectrum. He has also ADHD, anxiety, Tourette's syndrome, and tics. So when he was diagnosed with autism, he was just above 3 years of age. I struggled with denial, and you know, denial can really impact your health. For me, it really impacted my mental health a lot, and because it was impacting my mental health, my health also deteriorated. And when I started working on myself, I realized I was suffering a lot from insomnia. I want to talk about insomnia. The reason why I want to talk about it, a lot of people talk about struggling to fall asleep or staying asleep as something that comes with hard work, as something that is worthy being rewarded for. There is nothing wrong with working hard, having some sleepless nights, if you have a goal that you are working towards. But if you see that now even your body cannot fall asleep, then it becomes something different. For me, it was now beyond my control. I could not fall asleep without taking antidepressants. I could not fall asleep without taking some medication for me to be able to fall asleep or to stay asleep, which is not the way our bodies were created. Our bodies were created to self-regulate themselves. The problem with insomnia is that once you now in that trap of not falling asleep or staying asleep, it affects your productivity the following day, or even days or weeks, months to follow, because you are not giving enough time your body to rest. And that is what happened to me. My work suffered, my performance in general suffered, my health suffered. I also suffered, and I just realized that I was not myself. I lost myself. So I want to talk about insomnia so that maybe it can just enlighten 1 or 2 people, especially to my fellow special needs parents. I know how much work we have to deal with on a daily basis to look after our special needs children, our special needs loved ones, our special needs friends and family. Maybe you're a caregiver, or maybe you're a parent or a relative who looks after special needs people. We have in our body cortisol, which is a hormone. We have hormones that our bodies were created with to help regulate. And the hormone called cortisol is responsible for helping our body to respond to stress and emergencies. It's produced by adrenaline glands, which sit on top of each kidney. So you can realize that if your cortisol levels are affected, it can end up even affecting the kidneys. I don't want to go the medical explanation or the medical route, but I want to park it there. Cortisol sits on top of each of our kidneys and is there to respond to emergencies, to stress. So the way we react to when we get bad news, maybe you receive a call to say, oh, you need to come back, your son is not feeling well, or your son today is having a bad day. Like in my case, I used to get a lot of calls when my son started going to school. He was already going to school actually. So when he started having meltdowns, when he was being dysregulated, when he was much younger, I would get these calls. So my cortisol levels were always heightened, and I would just be on a flight mode. Like, I know I will receive bad news. Every time the phone rang, I knew. And I was always in that heightened sense, and I'm not myself. And because of that, you realize that by the time you go to bed, you are already so heightened that your body cannot calm down, cannot self-regulate for you to fall asleep. And I ended up struggling now with insomnia. I ended up struggling with insomnia.